12 individually wrapped desserts that we're going to be talking about next. And these are also Customer Choice Award nominees for the best dessert. So out of all the desserts that we offer here at QVC, and we have a lot of them, this has been nominated for the best. And what you're getting is a collection of delectable confections that were created based off of the owner, Jill's grandmother's passion for bringing really good fresh foods and delicious things from her kitchen to her family. This offer includes her best-selling Pecan Dandy, the blueberry, and also the raspberry, and also the cinnamon crumble bars. And you're going to receive 4 of each one of them. They come individually wrapped. So once again, these are perfect to put out on the display for the buffet, or this is the perfect little grab and go dessert for anyone who might just need a little something to snack on. I did have the opportunity to try the pecan. I did it right before the show, and I was just blown away at how moist and delicious, and the texture of the layers of nut and the cookie on the inside. It's outstanding. So I want to invite you to place your order for it, M73056. There is no auto delivery on this. So again, the offer is 4 of each of the flavors that I mentioned. You get 12 total, and you get them home for 3 payments of $14.50 per month. Jill Bomarito is here with us to talk about this collection and talk about Ethel, who is your grandmother that helped to inspire your desire to get in the kitchen and do some baked goods for everyone.
Thank you so much, Jane. I'm thrilled to be here. And Grandma Ethel taught me to bake, spent the time with me, and she was the person behind my passion for taking the time to bring those amazing flavors to everybody. And of course, butter was her favorite ingredient, and it's still our favorite ingredient today.
I feel like Ethel and I are connected through butter, and so many of us appreciate that butter connection. Let's do this. I'd love for you, if you could, to go through each one of the flavors, and then we'll, dive in a little bit deeper. Let's start with the one that started it all, and that's the Pecan Dandy, if we could.
Yes, absolutely. So the Pecan Dandy is the bar that started us, and it's an old recipe from the past. Nothing about what we do is quick or easy. So that bar is made in layers, and you can see that decadent buttery crust. That's layer number 1, and we spread that and then bake it. We take that out. We then make our caramel from pure cane sugar, local honey, Madagascar vanilla, and butter being the number 1. We make our caramel, we add jumbo fancy pecans to that, we layer it on top of the crust, we put it in to bake it all over again so it bubbles up and turns buttery brown. And that's the love and care that goes into that Pecan Dandy, and you can't believe the flavor.
They're ridiculous. They're so good. And it's not the kind of stick to your teeth caramely type flavor. It just literally liquefies and melts in your mouth, and yet you get that texture of the pecans, which is so rich and so decadent. So that I love. Then let's go into what's next, and that is the cinnamon crumble. And I'm just going to add these to our buffet, because here's the fun thing. You can cut these bars, because they really are almost too big, Jill, for one person to consume. Cut them and put them on a tray, and then put toothpicks in so people can sample the different flavors. It's not a choice of, you get all 3. Then we jump into the cinnamon crumble.
Yes, so that cinnamon, imagine the inside of a cinnamon roll. So that's the way my grandmother made these. And so you have that layer first of that buttery shortbread crust, our signature crust. Then we make our cinnamon roll filling, and we bubble that on top of our stove, stirring it constantly. We take that, we layer that over the butter crust, and then we add a cinnamon oat butter crumble to the top. So that's layer number 3. We bake that. It comes out luscious, and when it cools, we add a layer of custom glaze to the top. So when you bite into it, it melts in your mouth.
That looks delicious. And we are getting limited across the board here. One more flavor to go through, and that is the raspberry crumble.
So the raspberry is like our raspberry pie. So imagine the cross between a raspberry pie and a raspberry pastry. And again, it's our signature crust, but on top of that is homemade raspberry jam, small batch. So everything we do is in small batch and small pan. And that's to get that homemade flavor. So that raspberry jam has seeds in it made with just cane sugar and fresh raspberries. And that goes on top. That's layer number 2. Then we get just a butter oat crumble on top of that. It's baked, crispy brown comes out. And then once cooled, we add our custom glaze to the top as well.
You know what I forgot to mention in all of this decadent description that you're doing is that these bars, which are probably some of the best
tasty
dessert bars I've ever had, are also gluten-free. So for my sister and my mother-in-law, who typically are the ones that end up only getting to have a little ice cream at the end of a meal, these bars are for you, and they are gluten-free, so you can enjoy them. And that was part of your other commitment as people, there are many people in your family who also have sensitivities to gluten. You wanted to make sure you were making desserts that everybody could enjoy.
Celiac's been in my family for over 40 years. It's not new for us. My promise, the Ethel's promise to you, is you will never miss the gluten. You will enjoy it and celebrate and share with your family, and it's just a wonderful food experience.
Well, we have fewer than 800 available. There is everything that you see here is what you received. They're all 12 of them coming to you individually wrapped. Now, talk to us, if you could, Jill, about how to keep them fresh. How long can we store them, and what do we do when we get them home?
Yes, well, these are what we call counter-friendly. You can leave them, throw them in your purse, throw them in the cookie jar, whatever you'd like to do. If you're going to keep them around for longer than 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks, you can throw them in the fridge, you can throw them in the freezer. That's how I keep them, because I keep a large stash at home. And when you pull them out, they're just as fresh as the day we made them.
We love it. Well, Jill, thank you so much for bringing them and your commitment to the good quality. We're down to our final 500 in this offer, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
All right.
Jill.
Take
We love
care.
those.
Bye-bye.
Those are so incredibly delicious
They're
and
really
addictive.
good.
They should come with a warning that says you're going to eat more than one, even though they're infinitely shareable.
Everything in moderation, Rape. That's my